Start with Why. How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action is a book by Simon Sinek that explores the idea of starting with a strong sense of purpose, or why, to inspire action and create success. The book is divided into 3 parts. In Part 1, the author introduces the concept of the Golden Circle, which consists of 3 concentric circles: why, how, and what. He argues that great leaders and successful organizations start with why, or their purpose or belief, before moving on to how they will achieve it and what they will do to make it happen. In Part 2, the author discusses the importance of clarity of why, how, and what in building a successful organization. He emphasizes the need for a clear sense of purpose and belief, as well as a strong understanding of the company's values and culture. In Part 3, the author provides practical advice on how to apply the principles of the Golden Circle to inspire action and create success. He discusses the importance of storytelling, leadership, and culture in creating an environment where people are motivated to take action and achieve the company's goals. Throughout the book, the author uses examples and case studies from successful organizations such as Apple, Southwest Airlines, and Martin Luther King Jr. to illustrate his points. He also provides exercises and practical tips to help readers apply the principles of the Golden Circle to their own organizations. The book is divided into 3 parts. In Part 1, the author introduces the concept of the Golden Circle, which consists of 3 concentric circles: why, how, and what. The author argues that most people and organizations focus on the what they do, but the most successful and inspiring leaders and organizations start with the why, their purpose, cause, or belief. In Part 2, the author provides evidence from neuroscience and biology to support his argument that understanding the why is critical to inspiring action and loyalty. He discusses the role of the limbic brain in decision-making and argues that people are more likely to be inspired and motivated by a clear sense of purpose than by purely rational arguments or incentives. In Part 3, the author provides practical advice for applying the Start with Why framework to personal and organizational leadership. He discusses how to articulate a clear sense of purpose, communicate that purpose effectively, and build a culture that aligns with that purpose. Throughout the book, the author uses examples and case studies from successful companies and leaders to illustrate his points. He discusses companies like Apple, Southwest Airlines, and Martin Luther King Jr. and how they have been successful because they understand their why and use it to inspire action and loyalty. The Golden Circle is comprised of 3 concentric circles: why, how, and what. Sinek argues that most people and organizations start with the what, or the product or service they offer. However, the most successful leaders and organizations start with the why, or the purpose, belief, or cause that drives them. Sinek uses several examples of successful leaders and organizations, such as Apple and Martin Luther King Jr., to illustrate the power of starting with the why. He argues that when people or organizations are driven by a clear sense of purpose, they are better able to inspire and motivate others to take action and achieve their goals. The book is divided into 3 parts. In Part 1, Sinek introduces the Golden Circle framework and explains why starting with the why is so important. He also provides examples of successful leaders and organizations that have used this approach. In Part 2, Sinek delves deeper into the concept of the why and provides guidance on how to discover and articulate your own why. He also discusses the importance of creating a culture of trust and accountability, and how this can help you build a successful organization. In Part 3, Sinek provides practical guidance on how to apply the Golden Circle framework in your own organization. He discusses how to communicate your why effectively, how to build a team that shares your values and vision, and how to use your why to make strategic decisions. The book is organized into 3 main sections. In the first section, Sinek introduces the concept of the Golden Circle, a framework for understanding why some companies and leaders are able to inspire people while others are not. He argues that great leaders and companies start with why they do what they do, rather than focusing on what or how they do it. In the second section, Sinek delves deeper into the concept of starting with why. He explores the biological and psychological factors that drive human behavior and argues that people are more likely to be inspired by a sense of purpose than by material rewards or incentives. He also provides examples of companies and leaders who have successfully used the power of why to inspire others. In the third section, Sinek provides practical advice on how to start with why. He offers a step-by-step process for discovering your own why and communicating it effectively to others. He also discusses the importance of building a team that shares your why and creating a culture that reinforces it. Throughout the book, Sinek uses real-world examples to illustrate his points and provide practical advice. He also includes exercises and worksheets to help readers apply the concepts to their own lives and organizations. The book is divided into 3 parts. In Part 1, Sinek introduces the concept of the Golden Circle, a framework for understanding how successful leaders inspire action by starting with the why, rather than the what or how. He argues that people are more motivated by a sense of purpose and belonging than by money or other external rewards. In Part 2, Sinek provides a series of case studies to illustrate his point, including the examples of Apple, Southwest Airlines, and Martin Luther King Jr. He shows how these leaders were able to inspire and motivate others by communicating a clear sense of purpose and belonging. In Part 3, Sinek provides guidance on how to apply the concept of the Golden Circle in business and leadership. He argues that successful leaders must first understand their own sense of purpose and communicate it clearly to others. He also provides practical advice on how to build a culture of trust, inspire innovation, and build long-term relationships with customers and employees. Throughout the book, Sinek uses a combination of storytelling, case studies, and research to illustrate his points. He also includes practical exercises and tools to help readers apply the concepts to their own lives and work. The book argues that great leaders and successful companies don't just focus on the what or how of their products or services, but instead start with a clear sense of why they do what they do. According to the author, having a clear sense of purpose and belief is what inspires others to follow and support them. The book is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 explains the concept of the Golden Circle, which consists of 3 concentric circles: why, how, and what. The author argues that successful leaders and companies start with why and work outwards, rather than starting with what and working inwards. Part 2 provides case studies of successful companies and leaders who have successfully implemented the why approach, including Apple, Southwest Airlines, and Martin Luther King Jr. The author explores how these leaders and companies have used their sense of purpose and belief to inspire and motivate others. Part 3 provides practical guidance on how to implement the why approach in your own business or organization. The author discusses how to identify and articulate your own sense of purpose and belief, and how to communicate it effectively to others. Throughout the book, the author provides real-world examples, case studies, and practical advice to help readers understand and apply the why approach. He also argues that having a clear sense of purpose and belief is not only essential for business success, but also for personal fulfillment. Overall, Start with Why is a thought-provoking and inspiring book that challenges readers to rethink their approach to leadership and business. It provides a clear framework for understanding the importance of purpose and belief, and offers practical guidance on how to implement the why approach in your own life and work.